This is the plaintiff, Michelle Carpenter. She says she rented a room in the defendant's house, but was never allowed to move in. When she asked the defendant to return her money, the woman became hostile, then threatened to send people over to her job to get her. The crazy woman basically stole her money, never made it possible for her to move in, and she's here suing for the $600 she's due. This is the defendant, Samantha Morera. She says on the very day the plaintiff was supposed to move in, she sent her a text stating she wanted her money back. She wasted her time and energy on this woman, and she's not returning her money because the room was ready for her on move-in day, and she was the one who backed out of the deal. She's accused of holding on tight to rent.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff rented a room from the defendant, but when it was time to move in, the defendant said nope. And when she demanded her money back, the defendant threatened her. But the defendant says the plaintiff's the one who flaked. It's the case of get a room.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome,
Michelle Carpenter, you are suing Samantha Morera for $600.
Yes.
$400 that you paid her to rent a room that you want returned to you, plus $200 for harassment.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Okay, so it was my daughter. Well, I met her as an Uber driver, and
She was your Uber driver?
yes.
Okay.
And she drove me a couple of times, and we became, built a relationship, a bond, a friendship, or whatever. And I told her my situation and what I was going through, and she said she could help me. She had a room for rent.
What was your situation? What were you going through?
Like, I was just going through a lot of stuff. Like, I was living at my parents' house, and I was being charged, some money. And she said she had a room for like $400 that she could save me money, and I could save my money to get a new apartment.
Okay.
So,
who's the person next to you?
This is my godmother, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you get the same Uber driver twice? That's never happened.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Right,
It was
okay.
meant to be. We were meant to be friends or something. It was destined. But I
Okay.
got the same Uber driver twice. So she offered me the room in her apartment. I said yes, I would take it. So on August 28th, my daughter's birthday, she came out, picked me and my daughter up. We went to her house.
How old's your daughter?
She just turned 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah. And what happened was I was living with my sister, and my daughter was attacked by a pit bull. So that's when I moved to my parents' house, 38 stitches in the face and everything.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
In her face?
Yeah, in her face.
What happened to the dog?
They finally they put her down like maybe.
It wasn't your sister's dog.
No, it wasn't my
It was a
sister's
neighborhood dog. I got it.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so on the August 28th, she picked me up. We came to my her house. We went to the bank and got her the money for the rent or whatever. I asked her, I kept texting her and everything, when can I move in, when can I move in? And then she said she would pick me up, but she was busy and she was going through things herself.
She would pick you up for what? To move you in?
Yeah,
Okay.
pick me up with my stuff because I didn't have a car. So I offered my dad to, if my dad could bring me with the truck. And she said no, she didn't want that because she didn't want, people knowing her address and men she didn't know at her house, which I understood.
So she's going to pick you up on what day? Because August 28th is your daughter's birthday.
Yes.
And you were celebrating that day.
Yes.
But then there's August 29,
Yes, I asked
30.
her.
31, 1, 2. What's going on during all those days before the text?
Before what?
Before the text where you tell her I'm not moving in. Like, what happened there?
I call her and she doesn't pick up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, didn't you guys have a plan of what day you'd move in?
There was no plan. There was no plan. I just have
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens then? I see that on September 2nd, you ask her whether she's going to be able to pick up and drop off your kid at school.
Yeah, because that was the thing. That was the plan. She was gonna on August 28th. The next day we were gonna go register my daughter for school, so she'd go to school in her district. So I was asking her if she could pick and drop. Would be able to pick
Every
and drop.
day?
Well, not every day.
Pick up and drop off your child from school every day? That's your responsibility.
No, I know. No, I don't mean pick her up from school. I mean at the bus stop, wherever the bus stop would be. If I wasn't there, if I was at work. So she never texted me back or anything. So I said, you know what? I don't know what's going on. And school was starting. So I said, I'm not going to be moving in.
You text her the question at 9-something at night on September 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have the text on your phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I see him?
The judge can start from September 2nd to September
Oh, I'll be
3rd.
starting before that. Thank you. So what's your version of this? You say she just changed her mind?
She just changed her mind right after I had verbally spoken to, she says, her godmother, Elizabeth. I believe it was around 9:59.
Okay, but at 9 something, there's a text to you asking if you're going to pick up and drop off her daughter. Tell me what that's about.
Me and her had a verbal conversation before I spoke to Elizabeth, and I said that I don't think that I would be able to do it all the time. You have to fix your schedule so that you can be able to pick up your own daughter.
And then she texts you at 9 something and says, so are you going to finally be able to pick her up and take her too? You don't answer. Why don't you answer, just out of curiosity?
I was driving.
Okay.
A customer
And then
around.
she says, I've changed my mind. So you have 400 of her dollars and you don't want to give it back because she doesn't get to change her mind. And you want it back because you never rented the place.
I never even got a key or
I
anything.
understand. What you need to understand is that legally you did rent the place when you gave the $400.
Okay, so
that's called an offer and acceptance. That's what a contract is. She's renting out a place at $400. You say, you know what, I'll take it, and you give her $400. That contract's complete. What did she do that would cause you to be entitled to get the money back and let you out of the deal?
Because she told me she would pick me up and bring my stuff to her house, and she never did. And even when I asked for my father to bring my stuff to her, she said she didn't want any men at her house.
Okay, so I would expect to see some text traffic.
Well, that was we talked on the phone.
See, that's
yeah.
the thing. The text traffic I'm seeing doesn't mention anything about that.
Okay.
The text traffic I'm seeing is about, are you going to pick up and drop off my kid, which is not a reasonable request of a landlord. That's at 9:20. You don't get an answer. You say, I'm not going to be moving in. When will I be able to get my money back? No answer in a good 2 weeks. It would have been nice to have my $400 back considering you never rented me the room, but that's okay. You'll see. And you answer, this is lovely. I can't even say it out loud.
Yeah, don't.
Blank my blank and John's blank, blank, your loss, not mine. You and off or else. She says, we'll see. Yeah, try me. You could just be a good person and give me my money back. And here's the pièce de résistance. Trust me. Please ask John. Who is John?
John is a friend that she introduced me to.
Please ask John if I am the one to be harassing right now, B, because I will have my soldiers solve this issue at your job if they have to. What was that?
So once a tenant plunks down a security deposit, is the landlord locked in?
I say give it 2 days and then maybe he might be locked in.
Well, what about immediately? Is the landlord locked in once the tenant gives the money?
Yeah, because that would be a binding contract.
It is a binding contract even though it's not written?
Yeah, I agree, if it's verbal. Yeah.
Verbal's enough.
Yeah.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I try and stay private, and I try to help people out, and I did have a conversation.
By threatening to send your soldiers to their job?
I had a voice recorder of Elizabeth and Michelle when I wanted to pick up her belongings in the morning on September 3rd at 9 a.m. And at 1:51 a.m., she changed her mind.
I'm sorry. How does that answer what I just asked?
I'm so
You just
sorry.
said you were going to send soldiers to her job
Yes.
to solve the issue. Is that how you help people?
I felt like she was harassing me.
And how was she harassing you? By asking
constantly
you 2 weeks
asking.
later to please be nice and give her money back?
She was blowing up my phone too.
Because you
Okay,
didn't
so
give
by
me
calling
money.
you and asking for the money back, she was harassing
I
you?
was not picking up.
Then how was it harassing you? But she couldn't have been nicer. Please don't threaten me. I did nothing wrong. I thought we were helping each other. And you answered, B, no one wants you now, so you're bored, okay? I mean, you were really super mean. Here's the thing, okay? I don't like her attitude. I don't like her juju, okay? But that has nothing to do with the law. When you rent a place and you change your mind, that's on you. The fact that you hadn't moved in yet is irrelevant. Once you agree to rent a place, she says, I'm renting it for $400. You say, I'll take it, and you hand $400. That's a contract, and it's enforceable. You can't just change your mind and get your money back. I can see that it's you who backed out because I have tons of text traffic.
Yes, I did.
Because I can see that you are absolutely at 9:56 still wanting to move in there. Then when you don't get the answer you want, as fast as you want it about whether or not she'll be picking up your kid all the time, then at 1 o'clock, then all of a sudden it's, I've changed my mind, when can I have my money back? You're not entitled to your money back.
Okay, well, I had to register my daughter for school. So it was either I register her at
well,
her
you know
house
what?
or her
Here's
house.
the thing, though. You're renting a place and you're getting your daughter registered is your job. You're picking up your kid from the bus stop is your job. It is not your landlord's job.
No,
it doesn't.
it's not.
Yeah, I had to register my kid. Go register your kid and move in. You paid rent. You can move in. See, she didn't stop you from moving in.
No.
You
But
yourself.
how can I move in with no
She didn't pick
key?
up the phone at that night at 9:56. So at 1, I have a right to change my mind.
But how do
you
you move
don't
in
have
without
a
a
right to
key?
change your mind. And my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
You hurt yourself because you didn't back out.
Oh, no, I didn't.
You're having a conversation here. You're explaining to her what happened, right?
She never backed out.
And
But
like-
she didn't tell the whole story.
Yeah, but how do I move in with no key? Like, I understand, like, I gave her the money. I didn't know if when I gave her the money, I was supposed to, be able to go
You
or
entered the
whatever.
contract, yeah.
I didn't know. Okay, I know
But you
now.
never backed
But I
out.
never backed out. After a
never
while, I
backed
said, I'm not going to just give my money back. I'm not going to move in. But how do you move into a place where you don't have a key anyway?
Well, the judge decided
Yeah.
you backed out of the
It is.
contract at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay,
So
whatever.
You told the story yourself.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
you learned the hard way. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Thank
So you
you.
lost.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Here comes Ms. Morea, the defendant now. You're smiling.
Yes, I am. Even if I had lost, I would have smiled. You know why? Because I tried to help her
Yeah.
as much as I could. I was trying to keep them from saving money. They needed to save money so that they can have their own place to stay.
Was she asking you to do too much, though? Pick up her kids and things like that?
Yes, a blow-up bed and stuff like that. I was preparing a lot of stuff. It was on recording on my phone, but we didn't get to
Well,
process
didn't
that.
need it. Didn't need it. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
okay.
you.
You must sign some documents outside. Harvey?
I mean, here's the deal. When you give somebody a deposit, there should be a corresponding document that shows what is it that you're renting and for how much.